Hello friends, my name is Shanti Dugar. In this video, I would like to present the concept of capital asset pricing model, or popularly known as CAPM, with respect to risk and return analysis. First, I will explain the basic concept of CAPM, security market line, and then briefly explain the difference between the SML and the capital market line. CAPM, which is popularly known as, it was developed by these gentlemen: Jack Trainer, 1961-62, William F. Sharpe, who was a finance wizard, in 1964, John Lintner in 1965, and Jane Mochin in 1966. They used the theory of Harry Markowitz, that modern portfolio theory, and they built upon that to create this CAPM model, and which basically means assess the sensitivity to the non-diversifiable risk, which is also called the systematic risk, as I explained, and which is quantified as beta. So these gentlemen created this model and represented this through a security market line instead of capital market line. So security market line is basically the graphical representation of capital asset pricing model, and which can be calculated using this fundamental formula. SML slope is equal to expected return of RI, that is return of asset I, equals to risk-free return plus beta times RM minus RF. So RM minus RF is basically the market rate of return and risk-free rate of return. The difference is called market risk premium, and if you multiply by the market risk premium with the respective beta, you get the total value of the risk which an investor is required to have that asset in their portfolio. I have explained the concept of beta in another video, so if you wish, you can refer to that video where you can see what is beta, how it is calculated, what is its importance in the security market. And when you add that extra risk premium to hold that, to carry that risk, if you add that with the risk free return, you get the total expected return from that asset. So here I will just put this beta calculation simply, which is basically the correlation between asset I and market times the sigma I and sigma market. But the detailed explanation of beta can be found in another video. You can see. So I have put here the slope of SML in graphical form. So here on x-axis is the beta, and on y-axis is the expected return. So here is the risk-free rate, and this is expected rate of return of the market, and x is the difference between RM and RF, and y is the risk of the market, and market beta is always 1. So the intersection point is the market portfolio here where risk and return intersect. So when we calculate here slope, RF plus beta times RM minus RF, we get the slope of the SML. There are certain key assumptions of CAPM model on which it works, like which says investors have homogeneous expectations, and investors are always rational, and they have equal access to all the information. Markets are always in ideal conditions and equilibrium. Investors can borrow and lend unlimited amounts from the market. Returns are subject to normal distribution curve. I will explain the concept of normal distribution curve in a separate video. The asset securities are perfectly divisible. That means you can buy or sell the asset in any combination, and there are no income tax, no transaction cost at all. And beta is the only measure of risk. So these are all key assumptions on which CAPM works. Now let's understand the practical use of security market line, how it is used. So we can say that any asset which has a zero beta or a zero beta portfolio will always have the return on that asset or portfolio will be equal to risk-free return, because the second component, which is beta, if zero, then second component, the market risk premium or the asset risk premium, becomes zero. So basically, the risk-free rate of return becomes the expected rate of return from that asset or portfolio. The second observation which we can draw from this is that slope of security market line is determined the market risk premium, which is, as we said, is the RM minus RF. Shows more the steeper, the higher the slope of the SML will be, and vice versa. Now, how it is used in security market? So SML is useful in determining whether a stock is overvalued or undervalued. So when we say if the price of the asset is falling right on the SML, it is correctly priced. Whereas if the security is plotted on SML chart and if it appears above the SMLs, then it is undervalued. Why it is undervalued? Because at that point of time it is generating higher return for a given level of risk. So it is considered as undervalued. On the contrary, if the asset is plotted below the SML, that means it is overvalued. Why it is overvalued? Because at that level of price, the expected level of return is lower for a given level of risk in that asset. So this is very useful to compare the two assets, two securities. We can calculate which is giving the best return for a given level of risk, or the the expected level of better return for a given level of risk. That can be compared by using this formula RF plus beta times RM minus RF. So this is very important concept in the security market. Now let's understand the difference between capital market line and security market line, because most of the investors sometimes gets confused between these two terms. So investors, the CML is basically is a measure of risk where standard deviation is used as a measure of risk, whereas beta is used in SML calculations. So in x-axis of SML you will find beta, whereas in x-axis of CML you will find the standard deviation. And since standard deviation is used in CML, so which is a measure of total risk factor, whereas beta is used in SML, so which only takes into consideration the systematic risk or the securities risk contribution to the portfolio only to the extent of systematic risk. So it doesn't take into the total risk into consideration. Similarly, the CML graph define or reflects only efficient portfolios on that CML line, whereas security market line will reflect both efficient and non-efficient portfolio on its line. So these are the main differences, and one important difference is that CML always determines the risk or return trade-off for efficient portfolios, whereas SML demonstrates the risk and return profile for individual stocks. So CML talks of portfolio, whereas SML talks of the individual stocks. So this is all in this chapter. I have created some more videos related to financial management topics and statistical concepts to explain in a very simple manner with examples. So if you like, you can refer to those videos to understand those concepts in more simpler way. Thank you very much. If you like this video, or if you want some more explanation, or want to have some discussion interactive session on one-to-one basis or group sessions, you may contact me at this email address dugat.shanti68@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Bye.